श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधार विकगिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्याल विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्याल विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल विष्णु विष्णुपाद शतर शत शिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल विष्णु विष्णुपाद शतर शत शिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल विष्णु महाभगवत श्रील गोरक्षदास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। नित्याल विश्व श्रील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्याल विष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्रील जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानु गौड़िया गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम चाहे श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाय। जय श्री जय श्री चैतन्य शिक्षाष्टक की जय। Jai Shri Harinam Sang Jai. The commentaries of Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur and Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada and all of our Guru Varga ki Jai. Jai Shri Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll do the Mangala Charan and then I will see who has joined. Okay. Ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai shri guruve namaha. Guruve gaurachandraya radhikaya tadalaye krishnaya krishna bhaktaya tadbhaktaya namo namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gaudiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udritya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabdika Hanasukam Pradat Prabhum Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Sarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Smaragoura Gadadhara Kelikalang Bhavagoura Gadadhara Pakshachara Shrinugoura Gadadhara Charukathang Bhajagodrumakanana Kunjavidum Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvang Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptashcha Kama Ditaranga Madhye Kripa tvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanaravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Swaruparaya Sangha Harsha Shesha Ghoshanam Shikshanashtakakya Krishna Kirtanaika Poshanam Prema Nama Matra Vishwa Jivanaika Sambharam Prema Dhama Devameva Nomi Gaura Sundaram Premor Bhavita Harsheryod Vega Dainyarti Mishritam Lapitangorachandrasya bhagyavarbhirnishevyate. Prabhur Shikṣāṣṭaka shloka jay pore shune. Krishne prema bhakti tar bare dine dine. Whoever reads or hears the Lord's Shikṣāṣṭaka verses, that person's prema bhakti for Krishna increases day by day. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Everybody who's joined, let's see, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Sarveshwari Mataji, Shubhananda Prabhu, and let's see, on YouTube and Facebook, I see Ganga Mataji, and there I see a few other devotees, but I don't know who you are until you write a comment. So, Dandavat Pranams, everybody. I'm guessing you're Shri Mataji, Indira Mataji, and then also devotees in the future who will be watching Shachi Devi and Jayadev Prabhu and anybody else, Dandavat Pranams. All right, so, and Haribol Chatamai Mataji, Hare Krishna. Okay, so yesterday I didn't actually look at what we were going to read before we read it. And it was more on the topic of anarthas than on the first verse of Shikṣāṣṭakam. We got halfway through, but I think I'm not going to read that because I'd like these readings to be more focused directly on Shikṣāṣṭakam. But since we got through the first two anarthas, I think it'd be nice, since we got on this topic, went on this topic of anarthas, it'd be good to get an overview of the four different types of anarthas, which is explained in the Amnaya Sutra. And Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur, I actually don't know what is the Amnaya Sutra. I don't actually know. Is that written by Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur, or is that something else? If anybody knows, you can let me know. But he quotes it in the second chapter of Bhajanahasya. There are 4 verses, I think it's 4 verses from Amnaya Sutra, and then it breaks down the 4 different types of aparad and like that. And my Gurudev also gives a little commentary on that. So I thought we could read that for a recap and also to complete the 4 anarthas. And today we'll be going through the classes of my Gurudev on the first verse of Shikṣāṣṭakam. But before we do that, Haribo Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Before we do that, let's recite the first verse of Shikṣāṣṭakam. Or all the verses, I mean. Let me just open this up. Okay. Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam Vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam Purnamrita svadanam Sarvatma snapanam parang vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Me Drishamiha Janina Nuraga Trinarapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Na dhanam na janam na sundaring Kavitam va jagarisha kamaye Mama janmani janmanishvare Bhavatar bhaktir ahaituki tvayi Ainandatanu jakinkaram Patitang mam vishame bhavam buddho Kripaya tava para pankaja Stitadhuli sadrisham vichintaya Nayanam galarashudharaya Vadanam gadgadarudaya gira Pulakairnichitang vapukada Tava nama grahane bhavishyati Yugayitam nimeshena Chakshusha pravrishayitam Shunyayitam jagat sarvam Govinda virahena me Ashlishavapararatang pinashtumam Adarshanan marma hatam korotuva Yatha tatha va vidadhatulam pato Mat prananatastu saevana para Mat prananatastu saevana para. Okay, I'm going to just sing this very quickly. Yeah, the song based on the first verse of Shikṣāṣṭakam by Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur. Api tavarana kali pavana gora gavayai chana bhava vibhora Chitta darpana parimarjanakari Krishna kirtana jaya chitta bihari Hela bhava dava nirvapana vritti Krishna kirtana jaya klesha nivritti Shreya kumuda vida jyotsna prakash Krishna kirtana jaya bhakti vilasa Vishuddha Vidyavadu Jivana Rupa Krishna Kirtana Jai Siddha Swarupa Ananda Payonidhi Vardhana Kirti Krishna Kirtana Jai Plavana Murti Pade Pade Piyusha Swada Pradata Krishna Kirtana Jai Prema Vidhata Bhakti Vinoda Swatna Snapana Vidhan Krishna Kirtana Jai Prema Nidhan Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka Ki Jai. Okay, let's just read the translation for the first verse. Shri Krishna Sankirtan cleanses the mirror of the heart, extinguishes the blazing forest fire of material existence, and diffuses the moonbeams of bhav upon the white lotus of good fortune, causing it to bloom. Shri Krishna Sankirtan is the life and soul of Vidya Devi, the goddess of transcendental knowledge, who is his consort. Shri Krishna Sankirtan increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, causes a soul to relish complete nectar at every step, and enables one to be fully bathed, purified, and soothed, inside and out. Let there be supreme victory for the congregational chanting of Shri Krishna's holy names. Jai. Okay, so as I mentioned, to recap what we read yesterday, I'm going to, like the topic of the four anarthas, I'm going to be reading this section. This is from Bhajan Rahasya chapter 2, beginning from verse 7. Because yesterday we read about the first two anarthas from my Srila Gurudev, and now we'll get an overview of all the four kinds of anarthas. So, anarthas, or misfortune, are of four kinds. This is described in the Amnaya Sutra. Okay, so there's this verse from the Amnaya Sutra. Maya mugdasya jivasya geyo nartash chaturvida hrid dorbalyam chaparadho sat trishna tattva vibhrama. The anarthas of the living entities enchanted by Maya are of four kinds. Okay, what are the four kinds of anarthas? The first one is illusion about one's real identity or one's nature. And actually, it's not just one's own nature, it's the nature, the swarup of Bhagavan, one's own swarup, right? It'll explain it further on. Then the second type of anartha is hankering for that which is temporary, asat trishna. The third type is offenses, aparad. And the fourth, the last one, is weakness of heart, hridaya dorbalya. So Swarup Brahm, Asat Trishna, Aparad, and Hridaya Dorbalya. I'm used to seeing Hridaya Dorbalya as number 3, but anyhow. So that's illusion about about the Swarup, hankering for that which is temporary, or thirst for the Asat. Then offenses, Aparad, and then Hridaya Dorbalya, weakness. Dorbalya means weakness of Hridaya, of the heart. So these four types of anarthas bind the living entity to the material world and entangle him in its miseries. And then Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur wrote this Bengali verse, Maya mugda jiver anartha chatushtoy asat trishna hridaya dorbala vishamoy aparada sarupa vibhrama e chari jahate sangsara bandha vipatta vistari. Okay, so now here is my Gurudev's commentary on this. So my Gurudev says, this is the Bhajan Rahasya Vritti. The living entities seized by Maya and derailed from pure Dharma wander in this material existence, falsely thinking that they are its enjoyers. Four anarthas are noticed in the living entities. There's Swarup Brahma, Asat Trishna, Aparad, and Hridaya Dorbalya. The word anartha means to collect that which has no purpose. Like is no, like, it makes it negative, and artha means that which has value, or, means wealth, purpose, value, like that. So that which has no purpose, which has no value. The jiva's only goal is service to Krishna. But in this material existence, he is engaged in Maya's service. Hence, this is an anartha. One second, I'm going to shut the door. It's okay, I'll just ignore it. Okay. So yeah, the jiva's only goal is service to Krishna, but in this material existence, he's engaged in Maya service. Hence, this is an anartha. So the first anartha, Swarup Brahma. The pure living entity is a tiny transcendental particle, is Chid Anu, and is the eternal servant of Krishna. Just as the conditioned living entity experiences form, taste, smell, touch, and so on through his material senses, the pure living entity experiences transcendental form, taste, and so forth through his transcendental senses. Forgetting that I am an infinitesimal particle of spiritual consciousness and Krishna's servant, so forgetting this, the jiva becomes conditioned and wanders about in this material existence. The primary anartha of the living entity is his failure to realize his true swarup, his true nature. Hare Krishna, Brian. Okay, now the second anartha, asat trishna. To consider the material body to be me, to consider perishable objects in relation to the body to be mine, and to desire happiness from perishable objects is called asat trishna, thirsting for the asat, the mundane, the temporary, the material. Asat. Trishna means thirst, hankering. Now the third anartha, aparad. Apagata radho yasmad ityaparadha. Radha means affection, means priti. So that action which causes affection, which causes radha to vanish, is called aparad, offense. Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa explains this really nicely in the book The Heart of Krishna. Aparad at the lotus feet of Bhagavan and at the lotus feet of his devotees decreases priti, decreases radha, affection, or priti, yes. One should avoid the 10 namaparads, the 32 seva aparads, and all the dhamma aparads. And now the last anartha, hriday dorbalya. When the heart experiences illusion and distress upon the attainment or loss of that which is perishable, it is called hriday dorbalya, weakness of heart. This anartha appears naturally in the living entity due to ignorance, and it vanishes by the cultivation of Krishna consciousness in the association of pure devotees. Okay, so now Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur will go through and break down these 4 types of anarthas. Each one of these 4 anarthas are also 4 types. There's 4 types of Swarup Brahma, 4 types of Asat Trishna, 4 types of Aparad, and 4 types of Hriday Dorbalya. So first, the first 4 types of Swarup Brahma. This is from the Amnai Sutra. Swatatve paratatve cha sadhya sadhana tattvayo virodhi vishaye chaiva tattva brahmas chaturvidha. The conditioned living entity is subject to 4 kinds of Brahm, 4 types of illusion. There's Jiva Swarup Brahm, illusion about the Jiva's Swarup, the nature of the Jiva. There's 2, Paratattva Brahm, so illusion regarding the absolute truth, the Paratattva. 3, Sadhya Sadhan Tattva Brahm, illusion about the reality of what is our aim and object, what is our goal, and what are the means to attain that goal. So our sadhya and sadhan. And lastly, there's bhajan virodhi vishay brahma, not understanding those topics that are against bhajan. Now, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur, he writes this Bengali verse, Tattva Brahma Chatushtoy Bodoi Vishama Swiya Tattve Brahma Ar Krishna Tattve Brahma Sadhya Sadhanete Brahma Virodhi Vishaye Chari Vida Tattva Brahm Baddha Jiva Chaye. So now my Gurudev will explain these four types of Swarup Brahms now. First is Jiva Swarup Brahm. The jiva cannot realize his own transcendental form due to ignorance of it. He has forgotten his real swarup, his real nature, that he is the servant of Krishna, because he thinks himself to be the enjoyer. Now, Paratattva Brahm. Who is Paratattva? Who is the absolute truth? Not knowing this, the living entity becomes illusioned. Sometimes he worships Shiva, sometimes Brahma, and sometimes another demigod or goddess. The inability to correctly ascertain the Paratattva, the absolute truth, is called Paratattva Brahma. Now, the third type of Swarup Brahma is Sadhya Sadhana Brahma. According to the scriptures, Krishna Prem is the only goal, is the only sadhya, and bhakti is the only practice, is the only sadhan. The conditioned living entity, however, is unable to decide which is his goal among sense enjoyment, liberation, and Krishna Prem, and which is his practice among karma, gyan, and bhakti. This is Sadhya Sadhan Brahm, illusion about the goal and the process to attain it. If one cannot ascertain the goal, it is not possible to ascertain the practice. And without the practice, it is not possible to attain the goal. It is only by the mercy of Vaishnavas that one can obtain the fortune to understand that bhakti is the only auspicious sadhan and prem is the only sadhya. Prem is of two kinds. There's Aishwarya Para, full of opulence, and Madhurya Para, full of sweetness. The acharyas have determined that the topmost goal is sweet, loving service to Radha Krishna under the guidance of the Vrajagopis. Okay, and now the last type of Swarup Brahm. That's Bhajan Virodhi Vishaya Brahm. Doctrines other than Vaishnavism oppose bhajan and cause bewilderment, Virodhi Brahm. This especially applies to impersonalism, Mayavad, which contaminates the heart and thus renders the living entity unable to discriminate. Okay, so those are the four types of Swarup Brahm. Now, Asat Trishna. This is verse 9 of Bhajan Rahasya, second chapter. Asat Trishna is of four kinds as described in the Amnaya Sutra. Aihikeshvaishana para trikeshu chaishana shubha bhutivancha mumuksha cha hyasat trishna chaturvidha. The four types of asat trishna are 1. Desire for objects of this material world. 2. Desire for heavenly pleasures like those of Swarga. 3. Desire for mystic powers. And 4. The desire for liberation. Now, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur gives this Bengali verse. He writes this Bengali verse. Paratrika ahika eshana bhuti kama mukti kama e chari asat trishna nama. Okay. Now, my Gurudev's commentary on this. The desire to attain that which is unrelated to Krishna is known as asat trishna. This desire is of four kinds. 1. Desire for worldly material objects and the various endeavors to obtain them. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.18 states, Karmanyarambhana dukkha hatya sukhaya cha. The conditioned living entity endeavors to attain pleasure for the senses, but receives only misery. So that's the first type. Desire for material objects, enjoying material objects. Now the second type of asat trishna is desire to obtain the pleasures of the heavenly planets and the worship of various demigods and goddesses. The third is desire to obtain mystic powers in order to bewilder people by material wonders and thereby attain wealth, worship, prestige, and so forth. Human beings are attracted to Ashtanga Yoga and to mystic powers like Anima and Laghima. And then the last type of asat trishna is desire for liberation. These four desires are all opposed to bhajan and therefore devotees of Bhagavan never accepts them. And I'm just, for myself, I haven't really, I've not really endeavored to go like attain the heavenly planets in this lifetime at least, or I've never really tried to obtain mystic powers like Lagima and Anima and things like that. But um, and the desire for liberation, I don't know. That's more, but I think for myself, like the way I see it applying to me personally is I've definitely uh, desire to have comforts and have opulences, like have a nice living situation. I want the latest iPhone. I want all these types of pleasures, heavenly pleasures on this earth. So so that definitely applies to me. And then the desire to obtain mystic powers in order to bewilder people by material. So I see, like for this, I do want to impress people. I want to be able to say lots of verses and explain things in a really nice way. And I want people, I always like, so in that way, I do want to obtain like abilities and things like that to impress people and like that so I'm not sure um, if I'm allowed to interpret it like that, but that's how I see it, how it relates to me. And then, of course, the desire for liberation, wanting freedom from suffering, right? Yeah, that we all have. All right, I definitely have that. So these four desires are all opposed to bhajan, and therefore devotees of Bhagavan never accept them. Okay, now the third type of anartha, this is verse 10 of Bhajan Rahasya, second chapter. Aparad is of four kinds, as mentioned in the Amnaya Sutra. Krishna nama sarupeshu tadiya chitkaneshu cha geya buddha ganar nityam aparadhash chaturvida. The four kinds of aparad are: one, offenses to Krishna's name, it's namaparad. Two, offenses to Krishna's deity form, seva aparad. Three, offenses to that which belongs to Krishna, or in other words, to Giriraj Govardhan, the Ganga, the Yamuna, the Dham, or the lotus feet of the devotees. And then, and I think also Krishna's paraphernalia, or would that go under the category of seva aparad? Anyways, and then lastly, the fourth one is offenses to other living entities, who are all infinitesimal particles of spirit belonging to Krishna. Offenses to other living entities, because every living entity is particles is belonging to Krishna. Is that okay? So then Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur gives this Bengali verse that he wrote: Krishna name swarupe o bhakti anya nare brahma hoite aparad chatushta smare. Okay, so Krishna Nam to the Swarup, the devotees, Anyanari, and other living entities, other humans, but I think living entities. Okay, so so then my Gurudev doesn't explain that in depth because it's pretty straightforward. And now the last one. This is verse 11 of second chapter of Bhajan Rahasya. Hriday Dorbalya is of four kinds, as stated in the Amnaya Sutra. Tucha sakti kuti nati matsaryam swapratishtata hridorbalyam budais shashvaj geyam kila chaturvidam. Scholars consider Hriday Dorbalya to be of four types. 1. Attachment to worthless objects, that is, objects unrelated to Krishna. 2. Hypocrisy and deceit, kuti nati. 3. Envy upon seeing the prosperity of others. Wow, that's a big one. Envy upon seeing the prosperity of others. And then 4, the desire for prestige and position, pratishta. Now, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur wrote these 3 verses on Hriday Dorbalya. Krishnetara Vishaye Asakti Kutinati Paradroha Pratistasha Eito Chariti Hridoye Dorbale Boli Shastre Nirdharilo Chai Ripo Chai Urmi Ihate Janmilo Jotadin E Shab Anartha Nahi Chade Totadin Bhakti Lata Kabu Nahi Bade. Okay, so now the Bhajan Rahasya Vritti of Srila Gurudev. Hriday Dorbalya gives birth to 6 enemies. That's lust, kam, anger, krodha, greed, lobha, delusion, moha, pride, mada, and envy, matsarya. And their waves result in distress, shoka, bewilderment, moha, hunger, kshuddha, thirst, pipasta, old age, jara, and death, mrityu. Okay, so it gives birth to the 6 enemies, kam, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, and matsarya, and their waves result in distress, which is moha, kshuddha, pipasa, jara, mrityu. The creeper of devotion cannot grow as long as one does not give up these anarthas. And now the 12th verse of 2nd chapter of Bhajan Rahasya says, all anarthas are nullified by Nama Sankirtan. So Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.14 states, Apana sangsritim ghoram yanama vivasho grinan tata sadyo vimucheta yad bhibheti swayam bhayam. If a living entity who is caught in the whirlpool of material existence even once chants the name of Krishna, he can be freed immediately. Even fear personified trembles upon hearing the name of Bhagavan. Now Bhaktivedānta Thakur wrote this verse on that. E ghora sangsare pori Krishna nama loy sadhya mukta hoy ar bhoy pai bhoy. You can understand that, right? Bhoy pai bhoy. Fear gets fear. Okay, so now my Gurudev gives this commentary. Bhajan Rahasya Vritti. The far-sighted sages, reflecting on the terrible distress of the living entities in the frightful age of Kali, asked Sutta Goswami Pad, O Somya, how can the conditioned living entities who are attached to material existence become liberated? Sutta replied, association with devotees of Bhagavan is the only means. Bathing in the Ganga destroys sins, but all sins are nullified solely by having darshan of a devotee who is dedicated to the holy name. The direct result of associating with Bhagavan's devotees and serving them is the attainment of prem. If a living entity merely utters the holy name at the time of death, then Nam Prabhu will bestow prem upon him. Jai. Okay, so how much time is left over? We have 15 minutes. So in Chaitya Darpana Marjanam, right? This, hold on a second. Yeah, so by chanting, by Nam Sankirtan, then all these anarthas, they'll all be removed from the heart. Just like the mirror of the heart is covered by all these different anarthas and all these different, so chanting Harinam will destroy all that. Now, let's see. I went through just now on Haribol Vidilala Siddhi and Gargarajji, Hare Krishna. So I went through just now, just before this program, and I went through the classes of my Gurudev, and I just copied and pasted all the classes that my Gurudev, that he gave when he'd speak about Chaitya Darpana Marjanam. And there are 17,672 words of topics of Gurudev speaking on Chaitya Darpana, on the first verse of Chaitya Śikṣāṣṭakam. So obviously we're not going to be able to read all of this. Usually we read about 4,000 words in a session, and so 17,000, yeah. But I thought we can just jump through and read different things. I don't know which one we should read today, though. Let's see. Where does this begin? Let's see, what's this? Renouncing the rotten. Let's see this one. This looks interesting. The first one. This is from a class that my Gurudev gave in Russia in August 2nd, 2000. So Gurudev said, Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī. So he says, water is polluted, air is polluted, ether is polluted, and everything is polluted, and everything is dying by pollution. So many poisons are in water, and so many poisons are in the air, and therefore there is so very much anxiety. Intelligent persons are thinking how to save the world from this pollution. A day will come when the whole ocean will be polluted with poisons. All fish will be thus poisoned, and if anyone will eat fish or any food from the sea, he will die. In the name of saving the agriculture, people are spraying poisons everywhere to kill insects. But that poison comes in all grains, and thus all are polluted. You will eat those grains, and you will become mad. So many diseases will come, and you will all die. If you're abusing anyone, criticizing anyone, or quarreling with anyone, these sounds will evaporate in the air, and it will go throughout the whole universe. I remember Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Was it Śrīla Gosvāmī? I forgot who it was. But when you tell a lie, it doesn't have any place to go. And so then it doesn't, because there's no true thing to connect with. And so then it just hangs around, and it causes pollution also by telling lies. Maybe we can look at that article if we have time where it explains that. It's in the Descent of the Holy Name. So if you're speaking any nonsense, it will not go in vain. It will go throughout the whole world by air. An example may be given of a big pond. If you take a stone and throw it into a pond, some waves will be created, and they will touch all ends of the pond. This universe is like that pond, and air is everywhere in the universe. When one chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, this will evaporate and create so many waves of air, and those waves will touch everywhere, up to the ends of the world, moving here and there, and purifying the entire universe from all these pollutions. Krishna is so powerful. He can create the whole universe in a second, and he can destroy it. And again, he can create so many worlds. So that's how powerful he is. And that he has invested all his mercy, all his power, and opulence in his names. He's invested all his mercy, power, and opulence in his names. And therefore, they are so powerful. They will very quickly travel throughout the whole universe by the help of airwaves, and the pollution will at once be gone. You know that the trees, creepers, animals, and insects cannot speak. They cannot understand our language. Still, everyone, not only humans, but trees, creepers, and insects here and there in this universe, they will be touched by this powerful name, whether they know it or not. There is no question of whether they are aware or not. They will be touched. If knowingly or unknowingly you are touching fire, it will burn you. Similarly, these names are very powerful. They will inject all, and they will purify all, whether they know it or not. Here, the trees are very fortunate. The grass is fortunate. And the persons are fortunate, whether they are coming to our classes or not. The trees, creepers, grass, and all others are somehow attending our classes by hearing the sounds. Muslims say, don't say Hari, Krishna, or Ram. but the sound will somehow go and touch them, even if they're in Arabia or Iran. Even hogs, pigs, bears, and other creatures who are in the jungles and forests, attacking persons and eating them, they will also be liberated. Kirtan is so powerful that if you are meditating on anything and we are doing kirtan, you cannot continue to meditate. If you're doing kirtan and someone else is not doing kirtan, he is bound to do kirtan by mind. If you cannot meditate, you should chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This will engage all your senses. You will forget where you are and what you are doing. If you chant louder and louder, all your senses will be controlled, and there will be nothing to criticize, and nothing to remember about your bad activities or anything else. Otherwise, without this, while meditating, all kinds of bogus things will come in your head. You cannot check it by yourself. But by kirtan, it will be checked very easily. In this world, someone may think that devotees are very selfish. And I also think that you are engaged in selfishness. Those who are actually high class of devotees are not selfish. You can think, I should have some money to travel here and there. This is selfishness. I should also have some money in my pocket to do this for me, or for this purpose. This is all selfishness. However, when you will chant Hare Krishna for yourself and others, there is no self-gain. Wait. Yeah, there's no material self-gain, I guess. Gradually, your heart will be cleared. Cheto darpana marjana. And then you will realize that your real self-interest, the soul of your soul, is Krishna. Therefore, if you are serving Krishna, the whole world and you are benefited. Don't believe in money and wealth. Don't believe in them. To think that they will help, that we will be benefited and happy by money and wealth is quite wrong. By chanting the name and serving Gurudev, Radha Krishna Conjugal, Mahaprabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu, you will be so happy that you cannot imagine, and the world will be benefited by this. So try to do Nagar Sankirtan without self-gain. If there is any self-gain, let Krishna be the self here. Self-gain. So Krishna, the super self, Krishna. If there's any self-gain, let Krishna be the self here. And we could do anything for his service. If you have so much money, or even some money in your pockets, so many problems will come. Śrī Sanatana Gosvāmī left his one associate, Ishan. He told him, you should take that coin and return home. It is like poison. You should try to do Nagar Sankirtan and distribute books also. But always chant and remember, hear classes, and be in high-class devotee association. And first of all, you should not be selfish. Be Guru-centered or Krishna-centered. They will manage everything. Jai. We have 5 minutes left. How long is this? Okay, I'm just going to skip this whole beginning part because we only have 5 minutes. Okay, let's read from this point on. So you should try to know what Gurudev has given. These mantras given by Gurudev are Krishna himself. These mantras are love, the embodiment of love. Everything is in the mantras, especially in the Maha Mantra. Radha and Krishna and all the Sakis, all the Brajvasis, everything is there in the Maha Mantra as a seed. Therefore, always chant and remember in the guidance of high-class realized souls. Always remain in Vrindavan, chanting and remembering. Tannama rupa charitari sukirtananus mrityokramena rasana manasini yoja tishtan brajed taranuragi jananugami kalam nayera kilamitya budesha saram. While living in Vraj as a follower of the eternal residents of Vraj, who possess inherent spontaneous love for Shri Krishna, One should utilize all his time by sequentially engaging the tongue and the mind in meticulous chanting and remembrance of Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. This is the essence of all instruction. That's 8th verse of Upadeshamrita. These are the essence of all teachings. We should try to know this and to follow this. We should try to realize these things, and we should not waste our time. It is not certain after this life where we will go or what we will do. Though this Kali Yuga is full of problems and life is very short, still the mind is not fixed. It is full of rogues, full of diseases, and all kinds of bad things. For example, the Hridarog, the disease of the heart, which is lust. But yet, there is some good in it. That is why the devotees of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapar Yuga want to be in Kali Yuga. Why is that? By somehow chanting and remembering Krishna, we can attain something. We can have this seed, and then we'll have to put it in the soil of our hearts, always hearing Harikatha. Then a ras will come. And then once a ras comes, you will not be able to give up chanting. If a man has some taste in any good preparations, which is given to Thakurji, and his stomach is very big, and taste is coming, then he'll take Mahaprasad with relish. He will not give it up. He will eat, eat, eat. When will taste come? When juice will come, when juice will come from Harinam. What is that juice? He will see in the name beautiful Shri Krishna with beautiful Srimati Radhika. Then he cannot take his eyes from there. More juice. Madhu Mangal will come and do something, and you will see. All the gopis will come and defeat Krishna. So many pastimes you will see. In his life, especially in his last days, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would hear the flute of Krishna, and he would at once gallop. He would quickly pass through 3 or 5 doors, although they were so high and tightly closed. When I was 7 years old, I think, or 8 years old, my Gurudev said to me, you should gallop up to 16 rounds. Because he told me I had to chant 4 rounds, but he said you should gallop up to 16. That is funny how he used the word gallop. So he saw Krishna playing the flute. He saw Krishna playing the flute in a garden of Vrindavan, and he became ecstatic. And when Sri Sarup Damodar and Sri Rai Ramananda came and did kirtan, then his external sense would come. Then he would weep bitterly, saying, "Oh, why have you called me? I was serving Radha and Krishna there, seeing their forms and their vilas, their pastimes. And why have you called me here?" All the things that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shown in his life, Sri Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis also realized, as did Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur has written, "My name is Kamala Manjari, and my marriage was in Javat. I am a kinkari, I am a maidservant of Srimati Radhika. Vishaka is my guru, and Rup Manjari is my mistress." These are all in the Siddhi Lalasa songs of Kitamala. So we will see all this vividly. This is called Swarup Siddhi, and then Vastu Siddhi. We all have the chance to attain this. So I request you to follow the process and have so much strong faith. Don't lose your time and energy. Don't lose your time and energy here and there. Be like Sri Rupa Sanatan, Sri Rupa Raghunath, always chanting and remembering and weeping in the process. What process? Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidyavadu Jivanam, Anandam Buddhivardhanam, Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam, Sarvatma Snapanam, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. I'm not going to read the translation. Nowadays, I think that somehow, by good fortune, some devotees came in Vaishnava association, but unluckily, they went in bad association and began to do again what they used to do, making money and all these things. They have made so many groups, and they say, "Oh, no one can go from our group." If someone tries to go in good association, all will come and say, "Why are you doing this? Why are you taking this association?" Karna, Dushashan, Duryodhan, and all will come and be against you. If you are bold enough, You can kick them. That means they're misconceptions. Raghunath Das, Raghunath Das, what did he do? He left his home, his father, mother, and beautiful wife, and went to Lord Chaitanya. Mahaprabhu first warned him not to come. He said, be mature in your house. You should stay there. Mature means renounced. When he finally came, Mahaprabhu told him, oh, you have come out from the well of stool. Krishna has arranged this. And Mahaprabhu put him in the hands of Swarup Damodar. So you should be strong like this. Don't be worried. Even if any rog, any disease comes, be happy. Know that Krishna has given you time to always chant, and remember. Otherwise, we would not have the chance to always chant and always remember. So if we become blind, no one will tell us, oh, do this, do that, do this. So don't worry. Okay, so when we see Krishna, when we become sick, we should see, well, if I'm sick, I can't go to work. That means I have all day to chant, right? So we should always see, don't worry. Srila Bilba Mangal Thakur was blind, and Krishna asked him, should I repair your eyes? Should I make them good? What did Bilba Mangal reply? Never, never, never. I have seen you by these eyes, and I don't want to have the eyes that look over the whole world. Then so many worldly desires will come. Oh, this is beautiful. She is beautiful. He is beautiful. And this I want. Oh, these are my plans. This is my house. This is my car. This is my dog. These are my children. And others will always abuse me, saying, have you not done this? And they will rebuke me. But if I have no eyes, then you can say, what can I do? Only to repeat Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I was also a person like this, always doing this and that, here and there. But then I became sick and I was operated on. At that time, my Guru Maharaj, he put me in charge on the Mathura Mat and said, you should only write Bhagavat Patrika, for the magazine Bhagavat Patrika, and you should translate all other books. And you should not go here, there, and there. I had so much time to read and everything, and gradually I was cured. Again, I became somewhat sick, and again operated upon. So many operations, about 10 operations. Now no one can tell me, oh, you should do this and that, because I have heart disease. Day and night, I can chant and remember. Now Krishna has again made me somewhat healthy, and I'm coming here. So I'm losing my Vrindavan. So we should not be worried for any rog or any problem. Even if death comes, we should try to embrace it, because then a more beautiful young body will be there. Don't be worried for this. Problems may come, death may come, no harm. Who has sent these problems? Yes, Krishna has sent them, and he will manage to solve all problems. And he will also manage to solve all problems. You should try to hear Harikatha. Engage your mind. If your mind is not engaging while chanting, you can even walk and sing here and there. Somehow be engaged. Then a taste will come. There will be no death. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Jai. All right. So that is our program for today. Tomorrow we will continue reading these classes from Srila Gurudev. I'll look through also just to make sure that they're, yeah. But okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Yeah, so those two classes were from 2000. The last one that we just read was from Australia, January 14th, 2000. All right, I'll just do a very short Jadvani and we'll end. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Vinod Hari Ju ki jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki jai, Jai Śrīla Gurudev ki jai, Jai Śrīla Param Gurudev ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Swaparshad Ji Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopikan ki jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Jai Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur's commentary, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada's commentary, and all the commentaries of our acharyas on Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka ki jai, Jai Śrī Chaitanya Śikṣāṣṭaka ki jai, Śrī Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Shri Krishna Nam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, Satyavatai Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Dandavat Pranams. Let's see who's there. Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Sarveshwari Mataji, Shubhananda Prabhu, and Chatamai Mataji. And let's see on YouTube and Facebook, I see Ganga Mataji, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Gargarajji, Vidyalala Sadidi, Joshua Davis says Jaidev Prabhu, right? And Shachi Devi in the future. I'm guessing Indira Mataji and Raseshwari Mataji are both there. So, Dandavat Pranams, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to reading more of these amazing classes tomorrow. So. Yeah, it's nice, wasn't it? Chatamai Mataji. All right, Haribol. Is there anything anybody wants to mention before I end the stream? Okay, see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Jai.